Alright, what's up guys? Tim here with Undead Baits, and today we're doing something a little bit special. I have a friend of mine who I work with, and he basically was like, hey, I'm going fishing this weekend, and I was like, oh cool. Going to Tennessee, gonna be doing some cool fishing, so I was like, hey, why don't I make you some fishing lures to take with you? And he was like, that would be sick. And then I'm gonna be doing 2 of the micro poppers, and just so you can kind of compare the size difference between the large and the small. Yeah, so he told me he has a new bait caster, gave me some of the specs, so I wanted to throw in 2 of these little micro poppers. I have not personally used these yet. I have painted them for people and they've said that they've worked really well, so we'll see. I got eagle hooks to put on the large popper and the small popper, size 4 eagle hooks. I just personally think eagle hooks are the best bang for the buck. I know they're not the best, but I also know that they're not the worst. And then also I have a bunch of smaller eagle hooks that we're gonna put on the micros. Tiny, tiny little things that should be perfect for what we're actually trying to get done. So without further ado, let's get rolling. All right, so what I have is our little stand set up with both micro lures. They're both gonna be the same colors. I also got you guys down here with me on the table, and the first thing we're going to do, like everything else that we always do, we're going to add a nice white base coat. Gun's clean, and then let me get this out of there. This is the white that we're going to be using, Createx Opaque. It dries pretty evenly, and it also just provides a really strong base coat for these lures. Let me get our little spray shield up, which is just a black trash bag box from old trash bags, and I'm already not liking how much this one is moving on there, but we'll make do. So we'll do that, and we're gonna get going. This one is flapping all over the place, so we are going to adjust it. It's actually pretty dry already. It is pretty warm out, and it's very humid today, so I don't expect perfect spray conditions, but it is what it is. So that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and let them dry for probably a little bit. I am pretty happy with how they turned out. Oh, there it is. Oh, hold on. Come on, get into frame. Cover my face. There we go. So they turned out pretty good. I'm not too worried about painting the front face of them yet, just because I'll typically paint that with either a pearlescent black or pearlescent gray, just to make it stand out a little bit better. But yeah, once this dries, we're gonna go ahead and start actually coating it, so stay tuned. All right, so now that the paint has dried on the micro poppers, we're gonna paint the micro poppers. They're gonna be the same colors, and I've got the colors out in front of me right now. The bellies, we're gonna paint in a pearlized orange, which is gorgeous. We also have a fluorescent hot pink which is going to be the front half, the forward front half of the lure. And then towards the back, we're going to slowly transition it into pearlized purple. This is called Pearl Plum. I kind of want these colors to pop a little bit more. I don't really want it to look very natural. Since they are so small, they kind of need to catch the eye of the fish that's coming after it, if anything comes after it at all. So that's why I'm kind of going with those colors. I'm going to wing it for the large popper, and then, like I said before, I kind of have a scheme built, or at least a scheme in mind for the square bill. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start painting these micro poppers. All right, so the first color we're going to be getting into is the pearlized orange, which I have right here. Now, I typically will do the bellies first. That way I can overspray a little bit and kind of get a gauge based on flipping it around and doing the top and the sides, just how much I have to actually cover. But yeah, this orange I've used a bunch. If you guys have seen my Instagram, which will be linked down below, you'll see the square, not the square bill, the crank bugs that I have, which are these long guys. I did a pretty cool design with those, and the customer fished a tournament with them that weekend and said he did phenomenal, and the color was incredible. So we're gonna go ahead and get started right here. Match the other side. Oh Lord, my stuff went for a ride there. So, oh, and I just sprayed myself. All right, we're back. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of overspray on each side like we did for the first one, and that is just about all the orange paint I had in there, so we nailed it perfectly. All right. So I'm going to clean the gun out really quick, and then we're going to move on to the hot pink next. You typically want to go brighter to darker, so that way your brighter colors don't have darker hints to them, just in case you miss something in the gun. So we're gonna do that really quick. All right, what's up guys? So as you can see, the orange is on there. It's very shiny, which is what we want. I also flipped them around so that way it'll be easier to paint the top of them. So the next step is, like I said before, we're going to be painting them with this hot pink fluorescent. So gun's cleaned out, we're gonna go ahead, and I don't need a lot of this. In fact, I need like maybe 2 or 3 drops total, which is good because airbrush paint is kind of expensive for how much you actually get. Some of the fancier bottles, so if you can see down here, sorry for a second, just if you guys see me just spray like this, I'm actually trying to get an idea for how heavy of a spray I'm getting. If you can see, like down here, there's a lot of just random sprays up here or off to the side. I'll do that just to kind of gauge how much paint is coming out based on the pressure that I have it set to. But yeah, anyways, some airbrush paint, kind of expensive. Rambling. All right, back to what we actually need to do. So we're going to start by kind of angling the lure a little bit. And I really only want to get that front half of the lure. I still want to absolutely get all the way down to the orange and try to blend it a little bit. And then also we're going to keep a pretty heavy spray on the front. take a look and kind of just eyeballing it, just like I did before. Do a little bit of spritzing. And then I'm going to look at both lures head on and make sure I'm about at the same place, which it looks like we absolutely are. Looks good to me. All right, so now, just like we have been doing, I'm going to clean the gun out, get the purple ready, and spray the purple. All right, so we've got the Pearl Plum loaded into the gun right now, this metallic purple. And we're going to go ahead and finish the tails off on these Bat Larrys. Now, I do need to be careful, especially when I'm spraying this one right here, because any overspray on this could potentially hit this back lure, and we don't want that. So probably in the middle, I'm gonna take a break and move this lure off of the stand, especially so that way I can get it to, I'll heat set it once we're done. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start on the back of the tail so I get a kind of feel for how it's spraying. And it is spraying a little thick, but I actually like that. All right, so again, I'm just gonna take a look at them. I think I wanna do a little bit more heavy, and I'm out of paint. All right, looks good. So now we are going to let these dry. I'll take them up to the big camera. So again, hold on, let me see if I turn the shop light off, if it helps. So I have a shop light that sits right above my bench that I just recently put in. So my camera just color adjusted. This does, all right, you can see a little bit better, but that's kind of what we got working with us right now. Same with this one. And then I will be taking photos of them and putting them on my Instagram. I should be able to get them close enough so you can see the speckles. The last thing we got to do with this, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the eyes. Unfortunately, these micro poppers, when I bought them, if it lets me focus, they have kind of like an angry eye shape, which is cool, but I don't have any eyes shaped like that. So I don't know if I'm just going to paint them in myself. I don't like doing that because I think it takes away from the aesthetic, or if I use a smaller eye to maybe fit in there. Regardless, we've got the mouth that we still have to paint. I'm going to do that pearlized black. I just think it looks pretty cool. It helps kind of tie the whole Miami Vice kind of bright sunset orange color scheme that I like. All right, so now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and paint the mouth pearlescent black. Once I'm done with that, we're gonna go ahead, I think I have a couple stencils that I would like to try to paint onto this. We'll see. And then from there, it'll just be doing the eyes, and then that's it. All the lures that I'm doing today, I'm gonna make separate videos, just so that way I have more content to put out. But yeah, we're going to get started. All right, so to paint the mouth, I had moved the lures onto these alligator clips that have this little post that sits in like a little like hobby rack. I find it just easier. They're really sturdy. The clips are a little bit stronger than that on the little setup I have with the weight at the bottom, and it's just gonna make it easier to actually paint these and angle it the way I need to. But I do have my gun cleaned out. It's not cleaned out perfectly. It doesn't need to be because we're doing black now. But then after that, I think all that's left to do is the eyes. So stay tuned. All right, so we got our black, which we're adding. Again, shouldn't need a whole lot of it. It's this pearlized black. again from Creatix. I get all these paints from Hobby Lobby. If you ever walk in and you want to, you know, give it a shot, they have a ton of colors. They don't have everything, I will say, but if you find a color you like and you want more of it, I would typically go to Amazon and get the larger ones. So this is what I have, like this size bottle for my white, because I use a lot of it. It is 8 ounces, whereas these little ones are only 2 ounces. So if you know you're gonna use a color a lot, definitely better to go with a larger one like this. But anyways, I'm gonna grab my first lure right here, and we're gonna move down to the phone, and I'm going to spray black inside of them. Alright, so again, I don't know if y'all can really see that. I'll try to hold it up to the camera a little bit better. But will my phone focus on it? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so yeah, you can see there's a little bit of overspray like the first one, but not really too concerned. It blends in pretty well with the purple. When the dots are and the spray is that small, it kind of all just looks the same. Alright, so now that we have both our micro lures painted with their base coats, I'm going to, again on the fly, kind of figure out if there's any extra detail work that I want to do off camera. I'm also going to figure out if I have any eyes that'll fit. So while I figure that out, I don't know, go look at my Instagram, check out some of the other lures I painted. Yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, so after much consideration, I looked through some of the stencils I had and a bunch of the eyes that I have. I found some eyes that would work. It doesn't fill in the full like angry kind of design of it. However, I did something that I think kind of helps a little bit better than just throwing the eyes in. So if you look at it, I put in a bright yellow eye, and then I actually took one of my like contracting Sharpies and filled in the eye socket behind it. I've tried to paint eye sockets like that before, and when you use airbrush paint with just a normal brush, it doesn't really work out that well. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, again, just so you can see it, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other micro lure. I'm gonna do it off camera though, because I don't really have a great way to do it, and it takes a lot of fine detail work to get it done. So yeah, I'm just gonna do it off screen and then show you how it came out. All right, what's up guys? So after going through some of my inventory, I kind of realized I'm a little bit screwed. Right now, I'm using Diamond Clear Coat. For all the lures I've made for people in the past, they said this clear coat works incredibly well. It might scratch a little bit like any other lure, but it's pretty thick and it doesn't mess with the swim action of the bait, which is what I want to hear. So I definitely have enough to do a couple coats on these micro poppers, but I'm probably gonna have to buy some more of it to get the other ones done. So I'm gonna have to hold off on those for a little bit, but for now, we're just gonna go ahead and spray paint. This stuff is very, very, very potent. So I'm gonna spray it, and then I actually have to open up my garage door for a little bit and make sure all the smell gets pushed out. But yeah, all you do is like any other spray paint, just kind of spray it. So we're gonna go down to my phone, which has, it's directed at the baits, and then really all you do is just a little bit of that. You can see it kind of pull up on it a little bit. You can also see it in the air. But when you know you have enough on it when it's a pretty clear, consistent, shiny surface. And then I want to make sure you get the bottom. Do a couple of those, a couple of that. and that should be good for the first coat. Now, typically I will do between 3 and 4 coats, depending on how big the lure is. For bigger lures, I don't like to use use 4 because it does waste a little bit of the clear coat material. So this will be ready for another clear coat in about an hour. In the meantime, I'm going to start game planning this next one. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. The next couple videos will be me painting the regular popper and then the special square bill that I'm going to be painting. But in the meantime, these micro poppers will be finished. I will throw up some pictures right now. You can also find them on my Instagram, which will be linked in the description. Please follow me. If I make 1-offs or 2-offs of whatever, I'm going to put them down there and put them for sale if you want to, buy them. You can also go through a Google order form on my Instagram if you guys want any of the lures there. It's very generic, and I haven't had anybody order them through those yet, but I would love feedback on how you guys want to be able to order them if you find some that you like. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Super basic design, but I think it's going to be a killer, and I'm excited to hear how they do. So thank you guys for tuning in to Undead Baits. I'm Tim, and please enjoy your day.